What's up, guys? It's your girl Sia back at it again. I know y'all like, where is your crew? Where is the baddies? Y'all, Drea and Miriam are in their skin. They are in their own homes right now. This is a separate video with just me. Today's story, it's gonna be a story time. So yay, something new. And this is the story time about my first high school party. I know. But let me get to the intro first.
I'm fucking black Barbie, pretty face, perfect body, pink sleeves in a box.
So y'all, my first high school party, oh my goodness, y'all. So being a freshman, you're new to the game, you're new to the fame. Let me stop. But you're new to the game. Like, in middle school, my type of fun was just hanging out with Andrea, her coming over to my house, going to the movies late at night. Like, that was my fun. Like, it was never going to a party, being invited to one. Like, that was just never. I wasn't fast. I'm not saying if you did party in middle school, you were fast, but me personally, like, I wasn't more so like staying in a child's place. Like, that's what I was always told. And like, I've seen what happens when you don't do that. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna stay in a child's place. So we're in high school and I decided I'm gonna actually be in a cheer team this year. So cheer team was pretty like, you know, slight, cool. I was on JV or whatever. And, you know, we were all kind of cool and close. Like, we weren't like the best of friends, but like, we were cool or whatever. January comes around and one of the girls who was a year above me, she was, I would say, popular. Like, I will give her that term because all her family, her older siblings, they were, you know, they went to Inlo and like everyone knew them. So it was like kind of like a no-brainer, like she would be known too. So she was like, yeah, I'm having a sweet 16. I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe we're gonna like, it's gonna be some like, you know, regular stuff. Like we go to her house, we eat pizza, watch movies, you know, something like that. And they're like, girl, like even people who were in my class, like who were freshmen, they were like, girl, that's not what people do at parties. And I'm like, oh, my bad, sorry. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So she's like, yeah, I'm invited or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, my first high school party, like, yay, yay, yay. And they're just like, why is she OD? Because I'm telling you, I was so new to this, like everything I was new to. Like, I've never even, like, partying, and all of that was just new to me. And I was a freshman, like, give me some slack. I was a freshman. Like, I was literally a child. I was 14. Was I 14? I was 14. I was a child. So, long story short, we get the invitations. I'm like, okay, all black event, see the venue's nice or whatever. But I'm like, my mom. Now, my mom is African. And small things like being invited to a party, she put in her brain, it's like, oh, you're trying to go out and smoke. You're trying to be sexually active. You think you're grown like this. So I'm like, how am I going to be able to tell mom to convince her to go to this party? So I'm like, you know what? Let me start from the basics. She going to ask the first question, how are your grades? This, that, and the third. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take these 2 weeks, because she had given us invitations 2 weeks prior. So I was like, I'm gonna take these 2 weeks to really get my grades up, be on my best behavior. Like, no one can tell me nothing. Like, I'm going to every class. I mean, I wasn't the person to skip freshman year, but I'm going to class, being on time, turning assignments on time. Like, I was really like, those 2 weeks, I was really like the best student ever in high school. Like, it's sad, but you know, me being me, I was like, you know, I'm actually, you know, do what I gotta do and make sure everything's looking fine. So 2 weeks passed, grades are up, A's and B's. I'm like, I think 3 days prior to when we had the RSVP for the thing. And y'all, it was an all black event. I was like, I love me some all black. Hey, like I love all black, like yes. So I'm like, okay, all black event, I'm definitely going, like her. So I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, like I was so scared. I was like, you know, well, one of my cheerleading friends is having a like sweet 16. Can I go? And she was like, I have a terrible African accent, so I'm not even gonna try to do the accent. But she was just like, what's in this party? I was like, Mom, like, please don't overdo it. Like, please, can I go or not? She was like, don't get attitude, because you're asking me. And she was like, what is this? What type of party is this? Like, when is it happening? Who's gonna be there? I was like, it's an all black event, so I think we're gonna be just like, it's gonna be like a glow in the dark party. That's why I said glow in the dark party. I said glow in the dark party, yeah, whatever. She was like, okay, ask your sister. For some reason, older siblings in my household, they reign over everything. Like, if Rachel says no, I can't go. For whatever, Rachel's my older sister. I have a total of 6 siblings, but I only live with one. So my older sister, Rachel, if she said no, no means no, I'm not going. And my mom would find like another reason to ground me or something like that. So like, that's how, it's a weird dynamic, but that's just how it is. So I was like, I'm not going, to forget it. Mom's like, no, ask your sister. So I have like, Rachel, can you please? was like, Rachel, like, I'm trying to go to this party. Can I go? Whatever. She was like, what party is it? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, girl, you know what happens at parties. Like, don't act new to this. Because she's hit. Like, my sister is 6 years older than me or whatever. So she's not new to this. She knows what it is. I'm like, please don't overdo it. Like, can I go or not? She was like, let me think about it. Let me see the invitation. I was like, girl, can I go or not? So she was like, I guess she can go. And mom was just asking Anita questions. I was like, mom, she already said I can go. She was like, okay, fine, you know, go, be safe. And I'm like, okay. Because when she said be safe and like, oh, you can go, it was like, something's gonna happen, but I'm gonna let you go anyway so you can learn from your mistakes. I was like, cause like for some reason my mom, she says things in a way where it's like, dang, should I really go? Like, she's scaring me now. Like, African parents, they always had that one dream that, oh, I had a dream that something like, you know how African parents be. African, Haitian, Caribbean, y'all know how they be. So I'm like, oh, no, should I go? So I'm like, Andrea, Miriam, like, should I go? They're like, girl, just go. Like, don't overthink it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. So the day hits and I'm like, okay, I need to do my hair, whatever. I will actually insert videos of this when I get to the climax of the story. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, yeah. So we get to we pull up to the place. I'm thinking it's gonna be like, Mary had a y'all, I was so innocent. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm expecting like to be like a really chill vibe. People just there, like to the left, like, I'm thinking it's gonna be like a nice little PG-16, PG-14 party. Bro, me and my friend, we'll call her Sarah. So me and Sarah are like, no, Sarah gets there before me. She's like, girl, where you at? Like, I'm here by myself. I was like, oh my God, like, is it crazy? What's going on? She was like, girl, you see for yourself, get here. So I'm like, no, I'm scared. I'm like, okay, so I get there or whatever. And I hear, bend it over, yeah, touch it. I was like, oh, a song, it just always triggers me. Like, I just get like triggered from that song. I'm like, oh, but this type party, like, this is type time they on. Be like sophomores and freshmen and a couple of juniors. We're all like, majority girls, like 10% boys. We get there. Why is majority of the senior class at this girl's party? Me being an idiot, I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be like a couple of girls, a couple guys. No, like, her older cousins knew people, and those people knew people, and those, like, it was a lot of people there. So I'm like, whoa, like, what's going on? And my cheer friends had already made like a name for themselves because they were just wild, like, not wild in like a weird way, but like they were just like, they were known in certain departments. So take it or leave it, but they were known in certain departments. So it was like, okay, yeah, I see it. Don't you mess with him. Don't you mess with him. Don't he mess with you? So I was just like, yeah, y'all, the whole party, I don't know any of y'all. I'm sticking with Sarah because me and Sarah were really in. Sarah went to a different school, but she cheered on our team. So me and Sarah were like, oh yeah, we'll stay together, like keep a little profile, whatever. So I'm talking to Cheryl. Cheryl has been partying since she got out the womb. Like, Cheryl is not new to this. She is true to this. She's like, oh, it's lit, ha ha ha, like, I'm ready. And the guy she was messing with, the singer she was messing with was there. I was like, you know, I'm like, Sarah, you know Cheryl finna go crazy. She was like, yeah. I'm like, let's hope she actually like can contain herself and not do the most. So I was 110% wrong. Cheryl went insane when she saw who was there. I'm not gonna say his name, but I will insert a video. Y'all gonna see. So I'm just like, oh, well, Cheryl, you know, I see Tridarius over there. Don't you want him have a little fling going on? Keep in mind, y'all know the freshman and senior fling, it's never real. It's just like a little here, there, whatever. So she was like, I'm so scared. I was like, don't be scared now because you was doing all that beforehand. Like, you were ready to go, so you ready to come to this party, so you better shake something now. I'm saying this, keep in mind, I am scared. I'm the scary one. I'm over here like, oh, they're like, girl, shake something. I'm like, no, like, I'm good. No, I want to go home for real, but I'm just saying because I can't be lame. Like, I can't be here. Let me just have a good time. So towards like I would say 20 minutes into the party, we're standing around like in our all black, just talking or whatever. And her aunt's like, the birthday girl comes out. She's like, we're like, oh my God, you look so cute. Like, yes, and then I'll insert clips. Don't get me wrong, I'll insert clips. We're like, oh my God, you're so pretty. And then it looks so good. She takes her pictures or whatever. She starts doing her little thing, her little dance or whatever. And everyone was it wasn't just me, like everyone was scared. Like everybody was just like sitting around because everyone practically knew everybody. And we're freshmen, like we're new to high school. We don't want nobody knowing, oh yeah, you was going crazy at the party. Thank God it wasn't me. It was Cheryl. Cheryl was known for that. But after that night, I'll get into that. So we're all like, what are we gonna do? Like, this shit is crazy. Like, what are we gonna do? So her aunt was like, the girl who was like, had the party was like, y'all need to start shaking something. Like, I'm the only person dancing right now. Like, this is making me mad. Her aunt, And I'm talking about her aunt got, okay, this is the DJ, right? And she steps on the DJ platform or whatever and like, give me the mic. He's like, here you go. She said, and I quote, if y'all don't stop.
Bro, me and Sarah are like, because we're the main ones sitting in a corner.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, we're over here not paying nobody any mind. She was like, y'all getting out. Keep in mind, I saw my sister 12, 1-ish o'clock. She probably with far out into like in Raleigh, nowhere near like where we're at. So we're like, we can't leave right now. Like, and it's cold. It was January. It was cold outside. So who's finna be waiting outside for their ride? Not I. I hate the cold. I hate the cold. So I'm like, oh no. Oh my God, no. So we're like freaking out. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just breathe in and out. It's just a couple. Okay, at this rate, it was 10. The party ended at 12, I believe. So I'm like, you know what? 2 more hours. We got this. Let's just keep, you know, our sanity and just stand. So they play this Caribbean song. And the guy that was, I would say, checking for me, but really wasn't. It was like, he was trying to make that freshman and senior type of relationship with me, but it wasn't happening. I was like, I'm my type of girl. Like, I don't know what you heard about me, but I don't do that. He was more so of like, he was staring at me the whole time. I'm like, oh God, like, please don't look at me. Don't come over here. But for some reason, I was like, let me let loose. So let me have a good time, whatever. So they play this Caribbean song. I forgot what it was. And I love Caribbean music, Afro beats, all that. So you know, like when certain songs come on, it's a wrap. Like I come out of my body. I forgot what song it was. I wish I could remember the song. So for some reason, I think Sarah, my friend, pushed me onto the boy. We're gonna call the boy Tyrone. So Tyrone is there or whatever, and y'all, me, the scariest one, went over to him and was like, come here or whatever. And so, sorry mom, this is what happened. And so I started like, I guess, whining on him or whatever. And before I could like look up, 10 million cameras were flashing. Everyone's on me. Like, this hurt. Because my thing is, keep in mind, I was very innocent. I didn't do anything. I was like, no one like expected me to be the first one to pop stuff off. So I'm like, oh my God. Them lights started flashing. I would say like at 5-15 seconds after I stopped, and I was like, let me go. So I was like, Sarah, come over here. And I was like, oh my God, like, I was freaking out. And they were like, okay, Liberian swirl. I was like, I actually like that name, Liberian swirl. Yeah, this is, mom, I'm so sorry. This is what happened. This is my truth, mom. So after that, people started wilding. I'm talking about Cheryl, the freshman, like Cheryl, who I thought was going to be the first person to act crazy. No. After I went, stuff started popping off. Like, people started, like, you know, I guess twerking, dancing or whatever. And Cheryl, y'all, I'm going to show y'all the video. I'm going to show y'all the video. Cheryl gets on her hands. Like, she's upside down, like doing a handstand. Her thighs are gripped. No, he's holding her thighs up. And she's shaking, y'all. She's doing, I don't even know what to call it. It was so, like, gymnastic looking, but she was still like getting it, like she was still like doing her thing, but it was like she was upside down. I'm gonna show y'all a video. I'm like, get it sis. In my mind, I'm like, this girl's crazy. Like, this finna be the talk of the century when we get back to school. So I'm like, Cheryl, I don't know what got into you, but you actually did that. Like, even though it was kind of looking kind of crazy, you actually did that. She's like, thanks, girl. And the rest of the night, we're just having a good time. And we're, you know, whining, twerking, whatever. And then, you know, while I'm going home, I ain't waiting on nobody. My sister outside, and yeah, whatever. And so my sister's like, okay, I'm here. I'm like, okay, bye, y'all. They're like, okay, bye, girl. I'll text you. So keep in mind, I'm posting snaps to everybody. I'm posting everyone's like twerk videos on my Snapchat story. I'm like sending it to everybody. And I made sure, I was like, y'all, do not post me, nor if you do post me, don't tag me, please. They're like, girl, we got you. We ain't gonna do that. We got you. Go ahead, like, go home. Why I get home? Oh yeah, Cheryl added you, Sarah added you, John added you. Everyone's adding me on Snapchat, and everyone's adding me on, like, putting my and me whining and dancing. I'm like, I told y'all not to do that. They're like, girl, just have fun. I said don't do that. Like, you know your friends, like, people just don't listen. Like, that's a problem, y'all. People don't listen. I said respectfully, don't do that. But lo and behold, I get home. oh, this you? Oh, that's how you get down? I'm like, oh my gosh, no. So my sister's like, how was the party? You just like, this is the day after. She's like, how was the party? I was like, it's good. She was like, oh, okay. She already knew what happened. She already knew, because my thing is, I was freaking out. I'm on the phone loud, like, why did they do that? I'm gonna cry. Everyone was doing that, like, and not just you. I'm like, but still, like, I don't want people knowing that I get, like, down like that. I was very, like, what you call it? Not conservative, but I just didn't want people knowing that that's how crazy I can get. Like, I was like, I don't want that on my name. Like, I'm still a freshman. I want to start everything new and fresh. So we get to school. The video's going around, like, oh, yeah. No, the video's going around about Cheryl, because Cheryl actually did too much. So I'm like, I'm laughing at her. I'm like, that's what you get. She was like, bro, like, what do I do? I said, that's what you get. Ha ha ha. And then my friend, so she was like, oh, this is you, right? They were like, yeah. I was walking past the atrium and a couple of girls talking about it. A couple. The atrium is big. So that means it was a group of girls, group of guys talking about the same video, the same thing. I'm like, oh my God. I start crying. I think Miriam was like, yeah, Miriam was there too. She was like, girl, it's not that serious. Don't cry. Like, it's fine. Don't overdo it. I was like, it's not fine, because I'm an ROTC, and y'all know, you're like, they talk. People in ROTC talk. And then once the major finds out, bro, he's that person send it to your mother. Like, you doing that to your mom, like, much attention, detention. And I was like, I ain't got time for this. I was scared. I was like, y'all, whoever got the video, delete it now. Do not, like, I was really going around like, first of all, I'm crying, I'm upset, and I'm trying to get this video down. I'm trying to get people to stop talking about it. So, I'm in ROTC or whatever, and there was like, was there a party last weekend? Mad loud, bro. I'm like, bro, be quiet. Like, I was like, for real, be quiet. Like, don't say nothing. Luckily, after that day, the party was still like a discussion, but like my name wasn't the main event or climax in the stories people were spreading around, so I was pretty happy. Long story short, just know if you go to a party, you finna shake some, you're gonna probably be posting people's Snapchat stories. It's gonna happen. But yeah, that's my first high school party. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I might add some more clips in towards the end or in certain parts, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.